Well, happy Friday, guys, and tonight I am making that homemade spaghetti sauce. So I thought I would turn on the camera and show you how I make it. Now you can just do the sauce and then make meatballs, and I was in two minds to do that tonight, but I'm just gonna keep it simple and we're just gonna make it into a meat sauce. I'm gonna serve it over pasta for the kids, and then for Matt and I will be serving it over garlic cauliflower rice. And but the sauce is super easy to make. And I'm going to be using some of my homegrown, home-canned organic tomatoes to make it. So good. All right, guys, I am going to finish cutting everything up so that you guys don't have to watch me do all that kind of stuff. And then we're going to throw it all in the pot and slow cook it for the next couple of hours. And yeah, all right, I'm gonna spin you around. Okay, just to go over the ingredients quickly, I've got 1 large sweet onion, I've got 2 green bell peppers, I have 5 sliced, cleaned, washed mushrooms, I have some minced garlic, now I'm going to be adding 3 jars of my home canned tomato sauce, but to that, I'm also going to be adding some basil, garlic, oregano diced tomatoes, some fire roasted diced tomatoes, as well as 1 can of tomato paste. I'm also going to be adding some seasoning, but I'll bring that out as we add it. Back here I have 1 package of Italian sweet sausage chopped up. That's going to be kind of meatball-ish because it's going to be chunky. I have 1 package of ground mild Italian sausage and some ground round here, about a pound, maybe a tad less. This is what wouldn't fit in my freezer bags for my freezer. So I'm making quite a big pot of this on my stove. It's going to serve for dinner tonight, and it's also going to serve as sauce for a future lasagna that I'm going to be making. So I'm kind of killing 2 birds with 1 stone with making homemade sauce, because it does take a couple hours to slow cook on my stove, or in an Instant Pot if you want to make it in the Instant Pot. But because I'm making quite a big batch for future use later, I'm kind of just knocking it out once and getting 2 uses out of it. So, and then if there's any left over after a lasagna, I will use it on pizza, and that's how I use up any leftover sauce. So I'm gonna set the camera up, and then we're gonna get this all in the pot and get it cooked. Now you guys are gonna have to just hang with me, because I cook from love, which means I don't measure anything. So you know, I'm just gonna show you how I put it all together. Exact measurements, I don't know. I'm gonna say probably a tablespoon there of extra virgin olive oil. I'm gonna set this on medium heat, and then we are going to go ahead and throw our veggies in here, as well as some garlic. So I'm gonna be adding, probably a tablespoon and a half of garlic, but I like a lot of garlic. You adjust it to the way you like it. That's what I'm gonna say. So throw your garlic in, and then we're gonna throw our vegetables in and make sure we get all of them out. Okay. And then with a wooden spoon, I'm just gonna kind of toss this around. And we are gonna saute this up lightly before adding in my sausage. I'm just gonna turn up the heat just a little bit to like a medium-high heat and get this going. If you guys can see inside there. And then I will bring you back when we throw in the meat. Once I have sweat the veggies just a bit, we're gonna go ahead and add our meat. So I'm gonna go ahead and add that sweet sausage. I'm going to go ahead and add the ground round to this, and then I'm going to add my ground Italian sausage. This is mild. I know it also comes in hot, so if you like it spicy, you can add hot to it. Okay, and then I just take my little meat masher here, and I'm just going to kind of loosen up the meat here. Now I'm going to allow that just to brown up and fully cook, and then we will go ahead and add our tomatoes. All right. I'm steaming you up. I'm so sorry. Okay, so after I'm done browning my meat and veggies, I always like to add just a little bit of water, and I just like to deglaze my pan a little bit. And hold on, because Eric's home from school and he's knocking at the door. All right, so I just like to deglaze my pan just a little bit and get all that yummy off of the bottom of my pan. All right. Not a lot of water, just a little bit. All right, and then we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna start putting in our sauce. So quart jar number 1 of home canned tomatoes, number 2, number 3. I'm gonna give this a stir. Now remember, I'm making a double batch. One is for dinner tonight and the other will be for homemade lasagna. Okay. And then to that, I'm also going to be adding 1 can of fire roasted tomatoes because I think it gives it a fantastic flavor. And we are going to drop 1 can of diced tomatoes with oregano, garlic, and basil. And then we're also going to add 1 can of tomato paste, and really this is just to thicken it up. Now, if I need it any thicker, I will go ahead and add some of my home dehydrated tomato powder. I don't have much of that, so I really try to use it sparingly. If I can use a can of this and then add just a bit of my powder, I do. I'm kind of stingy on that. And then I'm going to give this a nice stir around. I like the diced tomatoes because it makes it chunky, where my home canned tomatoes is pretty smooth. All right. And then to that, we're going to start adding spices. Okay, as far as my spices go, I'm going to be using black pepper, some sea salt, some granulated onions, some granulated garlic, some sweet basil, home dehydrated parsley, as well as some Italian seasoning. And I'm also going to be adding a little smidgen of sugar just to sweeten it up and cut the acidity of my tomatoes. All right, so as far as measuring goes, I don't measure. So I cannot give you measurements. I just sprinkle it in and that's it. There's my salt. Here is my onion, granulated. I don't really like powdered. I like the granulated. I like the granulated garlic as well. I know I do have some garlic in here already, but they say garlic's good for the blood, right? I'm gonna be adding some sweet basil to this. I love sweet basil. For any of you who have been subscribed to me for a while, you know sweet basil is my favorite spice. And then this is going to be home dehydrated parsley. Add some in that. I'm just going ahead and I'm making sure that all the little pieces, there's no big chunks in that. And then we're going to add some Italian seasoning to this. And then last but not least, I'm going to be doing just a little sprinkle of sugar. And then from here, I taste. And I will tweak this if I need to. I honestly rarely measure when I cook. And everybody's taste buds are different. So even if I told you a teaspoon of this and a tablespoon of that, you might not like that. You might not be like, you know, a big fan of sweet basil or oregano. If you don't like oregano, keep it out. My mother did not like oregano, so she never used it. So you adjust it to the way you like it and your family likes it. I say when you start off, start small because you can always add. It's very difficult to take away. And before you know it, you're starting to dump more jars and cans of tomato sauce, and you end up with, you know, a 12-quart batch of tomato sauce. So you don't want that. So start small, let it cook for a little bit, come back, taste it, adjust it, and tweak it as you go. So there, for now, is my sauce. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna grab the lid. I'm gonna put the lid on it, and I'm just gonna let this kind of slow cook. I have it on medium right now. I'm gonna come back, and then once I get it to a boil, I can start tasting it and tweaking it, and adjust it the way I like it, which is the way then my family likes it. So, you know, every mama cooks differently. So, all right, I will bring you guys back if I tweak it at all. But usually I can eyeball it pretty good. I've made it enough times. So if I adjust it though, I'll bring you back and I'll show how I adjust it. Because, you know, when you make it, you might need to adjust it. It's really not a big deal. Just kind of see what it's missing or what it's lacking. Little salt, little pepper, a little bit more garlic or onion or oregano, whatever it is, and just add a little bit more. So this pot I can move back because that's actually where my tripod was. So all right guys, I will be back if I tweak it at all. Tasted my sauce, and the only thing I'm gonna add is just a little bit more sweet basil because it's my favorite. And I'm gonna add a little bit more sugar to it, just because it is still a little acidy for me. So that should make this perfect. So what I have this on a simmer, and this is just gonna slow simmer now for the next 2 hours, 3 hours or so, with the lid on. And yeah, that's it. So the next time I see you, I will be serving this over pasta for the kids, garlic cauliflower rice for Matt, and we'll see if we can't get him to taste test it for us. All right, guys, I'll be back. Gave it a quick taste. It is perfect, perfect. Okay, say hi, babe.
Hi, babe.
Okay, he's home, and he's gonna taste test for us, right, honey?
Yes. I'm looking forward to it.
Are you excited? I gave you a little bit of pasta and a little bit of rice. Garlic herb.
Nice.
Cauliflower rice. All right, so I'm gonna spin you guys around and we're gonna taste test it. So there is ground round, mild Italian sausage, you know, the loose, the what do you call it?
Yeah.
The, you know, the...
Like the brats.
Yeah, no. Yeah, the
ground.
Yeah, the ground. Thank you. I can. And then I also
all night, folks.
Right. And then I have my sweet Italian sausage in the links that I sliced up.
Oh, nice.
Homemade sauce, our home canned tomatoes.
Nice.
For the majority.
Nice.
So we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna let you, are you gonna try it with the rice? Are you gonna try it with the pasta first? Okay. Yeah, sorry, it's a little watery. I didn't drain the cauli rice.
That's okay.
Sorry. So the liquid is from the cauli rice. I didn't really,
gotcha.
I didn't get the right spoon for it.
Mmm. That's so good.
That's so good?
It's tangy, and it's really, it's got a little bit of a sweetness to it, but it's tangy, and it's not like fennelly or peppery. I mean, there's a couple different types of sausage in it.
I left it out this time. So sometimes I add it, sometimes I don't. Yeah, that's the cauliflower rice. So,
Riced cauliflower.
of course, that makes it a little healthier.
It makes it delicious. Rice cauliflower is fantastic.
And that's the garlic herb one from Aldi.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Good after a long day
That's
of work.
Right there. Is that it's a chunk of tomato?
Yeah. So, winner?
Winner, everyone. Wow, the sausage is good. It's a little bit of ground, and there's nice big chunks, and it's got the chunks of tomato that are just really super tangy, and
Thanks for taste testing it for us, babe.
Sure.
All right, so, and
I'm starving.
I get a lot of comments about your weight loss, and people are really congratulating you.
Thank you.
And
Keep going.
so, anyway, okay. Thanks for taste testing it for us. We can call the kids.
Taste test it till it's gone. And I might even drink the juice on the plate.
We're gonna call the kids up and feed them, but I hope you guys liked this video. I hope you
That's money, babe.
liked the recipe. And yeah, if you give it a try, let me know. It's pretty simple. I mean, I just literally really do kind of throw it together. But yeah, all right guys, I'll be seeing you soon. Bye guys.